Hello, my name is SAHIRAH ABDUL. Today, my group member and I will be present about Sustainable Development Goal number 13, which is climate action, as well as the organization that actively provides programs related to climate action. Sustainable development (SD), as we all know, is a development that aims to improve the lives of the present society without compromising the future generation. In other words, the present society must ensure that the future generation can enjoy the resources that we have today peacefully without dealing with any shortage and insufficient resources in the future. Sustainable Development Goals, on the other hand, are a goal that become guidelines and the heart of SD. Basically, the goals designated are a call to universe to end poverty, protect the planet, and balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. The SDG can be classified into 17 goals, and one of them is SDG 13, which is climate action. According to UNDP, climate action means enhancing effort to reduce greenhouse gas emission and strengthen resilient and adaptive capacity to climate-induced impacts, which include awareness raising, climate-related hazards in all countries, and integrating climate change measures into national policy, strategy, and planning. It is vital for all countries around the world to be aware and participate themselves in any activity relating to climate action. It is because we all know that climate change has a number of impacts in different sectors in society's life. These include damages to ecosystem as well as infrastructure which might be influenced by flooding. We can take a look into the Baling flood that was happened in Malaysia on 4 July 2022, which led to the losses estimated 28 million, involving damage to the houses, premises, vehicles, and other properties. Here, we can see that the climate change impacts are seen throughout every aspect of the world we are living. Therefore, it is significant to take positive steps to combat the climate change. One organization that actively provides the climate action program is United Nations. United Nations is an international organization founded in 1945 and was one of the places where all the world's nations could gather together to discussing common problem and have collective ideas to solve the problem. United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP) was a program provided under UN that was concerned to provide leadership and encourage partnership in caring for the environment by informing, inspiring, and enabling nations and people to improve their lives without compromising the future generation. There are several activities under UNEP which are REDD+, Urban Shift, as well as Climate and Clean Air Coalition, which will be explained by the next presenter.
Hello everyone, my name is CHRISTALING and I'm the second presenter for our presentation group session. So I would like to explain 3 descriptions of programs that we choose under the United Nations. First of all, the description of REDD+. So REDD stands for reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, while the plus symbol stands for the importance of forest protection, sustainable forest management, and improvement of forest carbon reserve. REDD Plus can be defined as a framework supported by the United Nations that aims to stop the destruction of forests that can lead to the climate change. And the last is REDD Plus also provide a few incentives for developing countries and contribute to climate change mitigation action in the forest sector by reducing carbon emission from deforestation and forest degradation. So we move on to the second description, which is the Urban Shift program. So Urban Shift was known as a worldwide program that used inclusive, sustainable urban development to reshape cities for people and the environment. Urban Shift, a GEF-funded initiative run by UNEP. So Urban Shift mission is to empower cities to adopt sustainable and low carbon approaches to urban development. And the last is, this program is aimed to create living and livable cities. So the last description that I want to discuss is the climate and clean air coalition. So climate and clean air coalition can be defined as the program that related to the global efforts that unites the government, civil society, and private sector. They committed to improving the quality of air and protecting the climate in next few decades by decreasing short-lived climate pollution across sector. And the last is, this program is one of the international collaboration in order to achieve the SDGs 30. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Moving on to the next slide, which is a benefit of the program. There are three programs that was organized by the United Nations Environment Program. One of the program is REDD+. In this program, there are certain benefits that can be derived from this program, and one of them is securing environmental. It can be done by the reduction of greenhouse gas emission from deforestation and forest degradation. As we know, greenhouse can give a risk to a global warming, and greenhouse gases occur due to human activities. So when the REDD Plus is held, this greenhouse gas emission can be reduced, and climate change such as a global warming can be avoided. Apart from giving the benefit to the environment, REDD Plus also provides social benefits such as rural livelihood. Local communities is the party that gain interest as they are the people who depend on the forest resources. REDD Plus also can help the communities to eradicate the problems of poverty by obtaining additional income from the credit carbon sales. One of the examples that we can look is Kasigaw Corridor REDD Plus project. In this project, carbon credits are sold to the international financial cooperation, and the profits of the sale will be split equally among communities and the investor. Urban Shift Program is the second program by the United Nations Environment Program. So the benefits that can be obtained from this program is in terms of their standard of living. This program is more focused to the urban area in order to ensure that cities' efficiency will increase. Increased urban development can address climate issues. So there are certain projects to solve this climate issue, which are low carbon transport system and low emission zone. For example, in Chennai city, the floods and air pollution always happen, and it gives effect to the growth of the city. In order to address environmental issue, the development of the Green Corridor helped to achieve the sustainable development of people in the city. The last benefit that we can get from the last program, which is Climate and Clean Air Coalition, is climate pollutant can be reduced so that the air quality can be improved. Among the example of the climate pollutant is black carbon, methane, and hydrofluorocarbon. When the air pollution can be controlled, human health and the ecosystem can be taken care and not affected because of the climate pollutant. So the good air quality can be beneficial to every people, and it prevents them from get a serious disease.
Next is the suggestion for improvement of REDD Plus program, Urban Shift program, and Climate and Clean Air Coalition program. For the REDD Plus program, which is to deal with the primary reasons behind deforestation while putting a project into action, controlling permeability can be difficult without a proper REDD Plus system implementation on a global scale. Climate change prevention is not achieved if the activities that are detrimental to the forest and its carbon reserve are merely relocated when a project is put into place. In a way, this makes the project useless. It is recommended that one strategy to lessen permeability is to deal with the primary reasons behind deforestation while putting a project into action. Next is the suggestion for the Urban Shift program, which is climate threat mapping. For the Urban Shift program to be more effective, their implementation of helping cities build strategies to attain climate neutrality and resilience can be improved by doing climate threat mapping. Cities will face contradictory problems as a result of climate change, including hot, humid weather, more severe and recurrent rains, and more droughts. Although no two cities are alike, the disturbance of our climate change systems affects all of them the same. The Urban Shift program can provide thorough simulation of the climate-related dangers and threats that cities face, which can then be used as instruments to guide governments and politicians in making wise choices about how to increase resilience. Lastly is the suggestion of improvement for the Climate and Clean Air Coalition, which is to cut pollution of gas and hydrofluorocarbons. The last suggestion and improvement can be made for the final program, which is the Climate and Clean Air Coalition. This program tends to accelerate the elimination of brief climatic pollution in order to safeguard the ecosystem, economy, and public health. Therefore, it is advised that the World Health Organization be certain to highlight all intended steps to minimize emission in order to promote their aim to cut pollution of gas and hydrofluorocarbons. In addition to being a greenhouse gas, methane also helps to create ozone, a harmful air contaminant that harms agriculture and people. Greater air condition and lower greenhouse emission are a result of reduced methane in the environment. To mention a few strategies, the program can supervise and advise the oil and gas industry can decrease venting, the waste industry may decrease pollution from organic debris at dumps, and the agricultural industry can cut pollution from paddy cultivation. That is all from me. Thank you.
To conclude, for thousands of years, the nature has provided us numerous benefits for us to survive, but slowly it is affecting the nature and now it has caused a climate change emergency. Reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, RED, main idea is that if the world reduces the amount of forests that are destroyed for the purpose of development, it can slow down climate change and global warming. Some of the importance of them is conserving the forest ecosystem, which we humans depend on, like food, clean water, and many more. It is important for us to take care of the nature as it could impact our well being. The responsibility of taking care of the environment is not only beheld by the ministry and the government, the people also have the responsibility to take care of the environment near us. Starting with small steps and small efforts could give a big impact to the world. By respecting and protecting the green spaces, it could help to regulate the environment's temperature as it acted to cool down the overheated places. Moreover, we can help to reduce the climate change by reducing bills and energy use. Many people underestimate this effort as it seems pointless and slow, but if a lot of people do this, it could reduce the effect of climate change. In addition, leaving the car at the home is also one of the ways that we individually could do to help the environment. The thing about car is that not only it contribute to greenhouse gas emissions but also air pollution, which could impact the health of the public, especially the elders. On the top of it, we must work together to build a world that is cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable for the future and our generation.